Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to be taking a look at some Toyota Hiluxes. We're going to start it off with the stock 2x4 version of the car, and then we'll take a look at the other ones later on. Now, you might recognize this car as being very similar to the one used in the Top Gear segment where they prove how difficult it is to destroy a Toyota Hilux. So let's see how long this car lasts for me in BeamNG.drive. So we'll start off with just doing a bunch of crashes at about 20 miles per hour, stuff like that, to get the car beat up in a bunch of different angles, and then we'll see how it performs afterwards. So there's one. We could do another one on this block right up there on the other side of the car. So there's two. Still driving, no problem. I mean, I'd really be surprised if it wasn't from just that. Like, this car is terrible if it broke from just those, because pretty much every vehicle I've driven in BeamNG.drive could do this. So still good to go. Let's go a little bit faster now and mess up this roof a bit. How you doing? Yep, still good to go. I'm gonna say that a lot every time. Still good to go? No, I won't. But I'm gonna keep crashing it. I think we should back into something after this one. Right into the front. No issues yet. Still even seems like it's driving mostly straight. Yeah, still driving mostly straight. That's the power of 20 mile per hour crashes. I'm sure it wouldn't be doing so well if it was a faster crash, but these 20 mile per hour ones, they're pretty survivable. And I know this one has a camper shell on it, where the one on Top Gear didn't. It's just the way it comes with the mod, so I'm like, yeah, we'll use that, sure. But you can see the way the vehicle crashes itself seems to also be pretty decent. I noticed no issues of sorts to speak of so far, and we've had quite a few different crashes here, and it looks pretty good to me in terms of how it's crashing. I think it's time to make this camper shell a little shorter though. Also, it's not driving straight no more, it's lost that ability. Ooh, still drives. We need to hit it on the side. Like, these sides are not damaged enough. I could try to drift into things, but that's a little difficult to do at slow speeds, especially when the truck doesn't go perfectly straight. I'll try it one more time. If that don't work, I got an alternative. There we go. Yep, this thing is pretty durable, just like you would want. I mean, you're gonna want to be duplicating all those Top Gear things real specifically, right? You could just totally redo the whole Top Gear video, right? And then, oh, that one might have got it. Oh, it did. I could tell it hit. See, what caused it actually on that one to actually kill the truck is it hit right on the tire. And when it hits right on the tire, there's no body to absorb the impact. So what that means is you're going to have the driveline snapping. And you can see that is not connecting to the engine anymore. There should be a piece of metal that goes straight between the rear wheels and the engine, which snapped from that impact. So there's what the truck stood up to before it died, and I think it did a pretty valiant job. I mean, the only reason it did die is because of a really badly angled crash. If it was better, it wouldn't have died probably. How's the inside look? Inside looks Inside didn't seem to fare as well as the exterior. The exterior looked pretty good in the crashes. Inside looks like those chairs really exploded. Okay, well, mostly the passenger seat exploded. Driver's just a little bit. Overall, though, seems like it did a pretty good job. Just to quickly show you, the part that broke was this piece right here. That's going from the engine to the rear wheels that gives them power. That is what broke. So let's go ahead and give you a quick pan of the vehicle itself, because I haven't done that yet, actually, which is kind of unusual. So you can see what it looks like, and we can pull up the J-beam structure so you can see that. So the J-beam is based on the D-series, but it's been modified to fit this truck, and it seems to do a pretty good job everywhere on the exterior, but the interior can be iffy, as you saw, but I've seen quite a few cars that are like that, so it's not that big of a concern. Speaking of the interior, here it is, and as you can see, if I want a red outside, I also get a pretty red inside. Now, as for the functionality of the interior, it is very functional and has all the details I like to see. For example, when we engage and disengage the parking brake, you have a pedal that moves, you have the gear selector going into gear, and then you also have a light on the dash that lights up. For the blinkers, you have the lever on the stock that moves, and then you have lights on the dash that light up as well. And then you have headlights go on, which are functional. As you can see, they are lighting up the suspension test area right in front of us. And then the dash also lights up with those, and you get an extra light for when your high beams are on. And then, of course, you have the more basic things like the steering wheel rotating, the gauges working, and the pedals working as well. So the only real complaint I have is the interior is kind of bare, so you can see some pieces that look kind of strange to actually see in the interior of a vehicle. And I don't think this interior is actually from a Toyota Hilux. I think this is just a generic truck interior that's been placed onto the Hilux body. Because I did some research, and the pictures I see for a 1988 Toyota Hilux interior doesn't really look like this. So yeah, I mean, unless you own this truck, you probably won't notice that. Because I didn't know it wasn't the real interior until I looked it up, and like, this doesn't really look the same. Anyways though, we're gonna do a super slow motion interior crash because, well, when was the last time I did that? It's been a while. Oh, the engine's saying hello! Hi engine, you wanna give me a kissy kissy? Mwah! Now get back in the engine bay and drive! I don't think this is gonna drive. Let's see, do the wheels still spin? Really? No, I thought it was an illusion. They had momentum, and I thought they were spinning. You can see though. Once again, driveline broken. So let's look at the interior on this one. Seemed like the chairs fared better here. Still not perfect, but the dash seemed to work out okay. So that's good to see. Steering wheel's a little off center, but that's not a huge complaint. And then the truck itself fared very well, it looks like, in terms of how it crashed, except for the fact the engine went inside of the truck for a little bit and said hello. So I think that worked out pretty well. Let's go ahead and get another Hilux out here to do some comparisons. And I think we'll start off by comparing the 2x4 to the 4x4 with trailer. And I'm putting the trailer out there just so you can see the trailer, because the only difference with the ones with trailer and without is whether it has a trailer. There's no modifications to the truck itself, because as you can see, even the ones without the trailer have the tow hitch equipped and are ready for the trailer to be added on. So this one is the 4x4 version of the truck, and you can see it does sit a little bit higher than the 2x4 versions because it has an off-roadish suspension. It also has a transfer case, obviously, because it's a 4x4, which means it's going to have four-wheel drive instead of just two-wheel drive like the 2x4. And it has a little bit beefier tires, you'll notice. I mean wheels, not tires. Well, the tires might be different too. It's hard to tell. They look pretty similar, but the wheels definitely look different. And the only reason I know these wheels are for off-roading is because if you pull up the parts menu, it says off-road wheels, where the other one says just steel wheels. So that's how I know the wheels on this one would be better suited to off-roading. I'm just trusting what the game says. I never did a comparison between the wheels because it's not something that came to mind, but I trust the game. So I want to now try to run the loop-de-loop with this truck. And it's gonna be close. It just barely made that with the trailer, and then I couldn't stop in time. I didn't think the brakes would be that bad with the trailer, but they were. But the engine in this one is the exact same as the one in the other truck, so it's actually slower in a straight line because it's heavier, and then it also has the trailer, of course. So I think we can go ahead and go on to the next truck, which will be let's do the Sport. I think that'll be the next one we'll do, so we can replace the one we have over here. So this one, it removes the camper cab, it removes the bumpers, removes the tow hitch, but it gives you a V8, two-wheel drive, and a sport suspension setup. So it is a pretty sporty vehicle for being a truck, all things considered. Unfortunately, at the moment, you can't tow anything with it though, so it's kind of impractical as a truck unless you only need the bed of the truck and not the towing capabilities. And as you can see with the V8 and the lighter weight vehicle, it went through that loop-de-loop a lot easier than the other one. The other one just barely made it. That one I had no concerns at all about it making it. And I think this truck handles actually pretty well. It does like to oversteer, but that usually makes for a fun drive. Maybe I'll bring it to a racetrack later on, but for now I want to keep going through the versions of the truck. And the next one is probably the most interesting one, which is the crawler. But I probably want to actually do some crawling, so let's change maps before we go ahead and take a look at that to a map with crawling like off-road crawl. It has the word crawl in its name. It has to work. Now, before I go and just crawl over all of these mountains, I will give you an overview of the crawler because I haven't done that yet. And the first thing you're going to notice is that crazy looking roll cage on the outside. That's the exoskeleton, and it really is just a roll cage on the outside of the car, and it looks crazy, and I'm kind of digging it. It's growing on me. Anyways, this vehicle is basically, it started as a stock 4x4, okay? Then they swapped in the V8 engine from the Sport, and they changed the suspension to be more off-road focused, so the front is a solid axle instead of the independent suspension that it used to be, which makes it really good for off-roading, but that basically kills the desire for me to ever drive this on the roads. It would be very bad in that situation. The gearbox is also a super short crawler gearbox, which works really good in manual mode, but automatic will suck because it'll usually shift on you if you're not really careful about how much gas you give it. And right now I am in automatic mode just to see how far I could get, and I was actually able to get all the way up this using just automatic. The other thing you'll notice is the removal of the bumpers, lights, tailgates, all that kind of stuff. And I think the front has also been chopped up a bit to fit, or maybe the back too. Like, it looks like just parts of the body have been chopped up to fit those massive tires on it. And, well, that's how you make yourself a crawler. So let's go crawl around some more over this way, if I can make sure I don't tip over. Like, when you steer this left or right on regular flat roads, it looks like it's going to tip over all the time. But you can see right here, we're hitting top speed, or we're in top gear at least. Because the gearing is very, very low because it is made for crawling, not driving on roads like that. And I probably want to switch to manual mode for something like this, but yeah, let me do it with manual mode because I kind of lost my momentum here. And now with manual mode, this should be a lot easier because I don't have to do like just enough throttle to make it over something. If I need lots of power, I just hold the gas pedal to the floor and I get the power. Like that. There's no way I would have made that in automatic doing that same strategy. I would have had to have came in with way more momentum and did like half throttle instead of full throttle because it would put me into 5th gear. I mean, you really want to use manual with this thing. It's geared this way for a reason, and the stock transmission does not know what to do. I wonder if I should take a shortcut. I'm going to take a shortcut because I want to just go to this one specific section that's actually really difficult for me. This is the most difficult section on this course for me. So I'm pretty sure this thing can make it through that section no problem, so I'm not going to waste your time with that. Instead, I want to see what does it do here? Because every time I try to do this, I always end up flipping the car over somehow. No way! No way! It did it! That is amazing! Like, almost every other time I've tried that, I almost always roll the car over. It made it! This is a really competent car. This thing just going, oh no! Oh! But I roll there. That was just me not paying attention, I think. Hey, I should do a test for the how it does in a roll, though, actually. Because we have that exoskeleton. It looks like it held up, though. Let me kind of just try to find a hill to roll it down. That makes sense. So, like, let's say you're driving right here and... Oh, no! Come on, I said, oh, no! Start rolling, you! There. So this is something that totally could have happened if I was going too fast there. And that is a really strong setup right there. That thing... Yeah, it holds the car together. You are not gonna damage this thing very much. I kind of wonder how would it fare if I crashed into something at a high speed. I'll have to do that later on. I haven't planned to do any crash testing with this, but with the exoskeleton, it's making me wanna. Like, this is gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next vehicle I wanted to show off, which is the Crawler Budget Edition. So compared to the Crawler we were just using, this one has a narrower, higher setup, where the other one was wider than the normal truck. This one is the normal width of a pickup truck, but it has the big fat tires on it just like the Crawler. It has only a V6 engine that's not tuned. It has the stock suspension, no exoskeleton, and it has a totally stripped out front, as you can see. And that has a different radiator, I think, too. And I think that's everything. Now, for this one, it's not as good as the other one on off-roading, easily. It can get through there, but it's not like the other one where it just destroys everything. This one is kind of... You can make it through pretty much everything if you're a good driver, which I don't consider myself. So I foresee myself personally getting stuck pretty easily, unless I'm really careful and lucky. I mean, so far we're making it. I'm curious. Can it go up this really... Yeah, I guess it's pretty good. I went off the course just to see if it would make that. I was curious if it would. Now I'll try to get back to the course and continue on it. Well, you know what? I already did that part of the course, though. That's kind of boring to do the same part twice. Let's do that. Let's just skip it over, because who wants to see the same course part twice? Although I came into this one kind of awkwardly, didn't I? Come on. 90 degrees. There we go. Oh, no. And I don't have the exoskeleton. I'm gonna die! It looks like there's actually a reinforcement to the roof still, of sorts, which probably helps in a roll. So let's find out. Roll, you! Roll! Oh, I love how it just figured out a way to not roll at all. I think that was so on purpose, wasn't it? That was a pretty good hit on the roof. Yeah, it appears that thing on the roof does make it a bit stronger than a normal pickup truck. Not as strong as the exoskeleton, obviously, just based on looks, I would assume, but it does keep you alive in some situations, I would bet. Huh. Strange. It almost looked like the roof was transparent for a second. Like right there, it almost looks like it's transparent. I guess it's just the reflection making it look like that in the window. How funny. Alright, one more roof test real quick. I'm gonna just drop it like this. So it's a big crash on the roof. That should really crush it in. Yeah, so it's not some indestructible sort of setup. It can still be broken, but it is pretty strong. On to the next one, which is the crawler competition. So this one is like the normal crawler again, but it only has like half an exoskeleton. You know, it doesn't have the whole everywhere thing. The bed of the truck has been replaced. The stance is narrow like the budget one. The transmission is a normal transmission. And it only has a mild engine tune on the V8. So it's kind of the in-between between the budget and the all-out crawler. It does have the same kind of suspension, though, where it is very scary to try to drive at high speeds because it'll just wobble all over the place because it's made for off-roading, not driving on the roads like I'm doing. But I wanted to roll it. Yeah, that's a nice roll. And this one doesn't really have the support for the roof like the full exoskeleton. It has just the same as the budget one, it looks like. Even with that bar, that roll bar in the back, it didn't seem to do too much. Not compared to the exoskeleton, at least. But its overall off-road capabilities are pretty close to the normal crawler, except for the gearing, really. That's the only thing that holds it back. I started to pull up the wrong menu for a second. I know there's one more crawler left to do, and that is the crawler hacked. So this one is basically the normal crawler with every body panel you can possibly remove removed. Nice and simple. And, I would assume it probably is even better than the normal crawler because it's a little lighter, so you have less mass to deal with, and it's probably lower center of gravity as well, so I see no reason this wouldn't be even better. You can actually see the engine too. That's the V8. And it's like no matter where I go, no matter what, we're going to be hitting red line. Ooh, that was not expected though. I can still drive. I can make it. I can make it. I'm still waiting for somebody to make one of those RC cars in BeamNG.drive, the one where you can they used to have where you drive it, it would flip over and you could keep driving it. I'm still waiting on that. This is the closest I'm going to get though, because I'm pretty sure I could drive this if it flipped over. With the exoskeleton, it literally just bounces off of things. That is so crazy. I'm going to switch the gearing up and put a different setup in that, make it actually a drivable vehicle and see how good that exoskeleton is. So let's go ahead and head over to grid map again and do that. So here's just a quick example of me changing out the gearing on the regular crawler. I'm going to use the regular one just because the extra body panels should make it more fun to watch in a crash. So all you do is you go to the engine area right here, and we just say, gimme not the inchworm transmission. And now I should be good to go for normal driving like this, as long as I don't tip it. It's like, I'm gonna tip over. No, you ain't. You're gonna go in a straight line. And you can see it is pretty fast though. I mean, we're gonna probably reach 100 when we hit that wall. Oh, the gearing ran out. I thought this gearing was a little longer. This is top speed. 90-mile-per-hour crash with the exoskeleton. Let's watch this one. I'm really not sure what'll happen here. It did get damaged, but not that badly. I mean, the front suspension fell apart, but the actual damage to the body of the vehicle is really not that bad. Like, I'll do another one without the exoskeleton so you can see the comparison. But you can see, like, this whole front of the truck is still pretty much intact. The doors are perfectly attached still. They haven't fallen off. I think they'll fall off without the exoskeleton. Well, maybe not perfectly attached is the right word to use. I mean, they hadn't fallen off. I put it more bluntly there. Yeah, suspension test. Oh, I hate those. With a car like this, you don't want to do a suspension test because you will just sag over and fall over. It'll be terrible. All right. Crash at same speed, about, without the exoskeleton. See, the hood even popped off. The door still stayed attached, but you can just see how much more the front of the truck condensed. Like, the whole front's gone. It's just disappeared. The engine is now inside of the truck and stuff. Huge difference that exoskeleton makes. It is really cool. Let's see. What else is there to do with this mod? I think I've shown off every version. I skipped the SAS off-roader, didn't I? Whoopsie! This one's actually more for a simple off-roading course, though. Something like, how about Jungle Rock Island and we go to the off-road course? I decided not to include me trying to find the course because I didn't know where it was, and I just said, hey look, we're at the course, because that would be really boring for you to watch for how long it took me to get here. So this is the off-road one, and this is kind of the ideal environment for this. It's not like super crazy like the crawler or anything like that. It's like if you took the 4x4, gave it a little bit more of an advanced off-road suspension, but not totally undrivable at highway speeds on the public roads kind of suspension. You gave it beefier wheels and different bumpers, and that is the car you would get. And it works good for just stuff like this, no problem. But if you try to do crawling with it, the suspension's not quite made for that. You can crawl with it, but nothing too extreme. Especially if you're a bad driver like me, you probably shouldn't do any crawling, which is why I'm not doing any crawling. Instead, I'm just driving it on some dirt roads. Some steep and very bumpy dirt roads, though. Like, these roads are a perfect example of what this car would probably be used for in real life, actually. That's why I chose it. I said that twice, huh? Oh well. It is a good example, though. And we're going uphill, too, so it's as hard as possible for it. And it's making it. So I'm happy with the way this performs. Corner! Corner! Oh, couldn't make it. I thought I would make it. Got a little dent. The gearing on first is a little low, though. I noticed that because it kind of bogs down under 10 miles per hour. Like, for the off-road mode, it needs like a 4 high, 4 low kind of thing, like on some trucks they have, where it has the low gearing engaged. That would be a nice feature to have. Oh, no! I've fallen! I wasn't paying much attention to where I was going. I guess it shows. I like how there's actually like a thing designed, though, for you to fall into, it seems like. That is a really cool place to fall. So that is the off-road one. So now let's go to a different place. Let's head to East Coast, USA. So I really just decided to go here just for variety because we could probably do most of what we're going to do at Grid Map, but who wants to go to Grid Map again? One thing we can't do at Grid Map though is actually show you how this performs on real roads. And you can see just how much this car likes to slide. Like, I'm over dramatizing it right now just to show you, but you can slide this thing all over the place all day. Like, just going down the road like this, I can do this basically until I spin out and make a dumb mistake. I'm not even having to use the handbrake or anything. I'm just using the normal throttle and brake, and you can just get this thing to slide all over the place. You know, with some small tweaking, I bet this would be a really good drift car. I don't know how it would be for a track car or anything, but like drift car, I could totally see it working. Okay, drift truck, I guess, if you want to be more technical about it. Yeah, it seems like it works pretty good. What else is there to do? I mean, we could do things where we totally destroy the cars, but that's going to be a little awkward at times. Like, how are we going to put a large spinner here? Like that, okay. Now, there is a spot I could put it. I was thinking, like, right there might work. Right there, I said. There we go. That'll work. Get the truck. Put it up above. Oh, let's put it over here. We'll use the actual ramp. How often do I use that ramp? Never. So why not? So I'll put you up to speed. And truck, are you ready to drive into the spinner? Uh-oh. Can it clear that? It's the sport edition, not the off-road, you. Go! A little bit of slow-mo on it. Speed up a bit. And have the camera manually controlled. And we could just go ahead and go full speed. Spinner needs to be sped up. Speed it up. There we go. Other way. Other way. Alright, how's the truck look? Doesn't look like a truck, that's for sure. So there's that. You know, I don't really feel like doing the crusher. So we're going to skip that and instead shoot it out of a cannon. Just to watch it fly. He's going to drift into the cannon because this thing just loves to drift everywhere. Alright. Raise the cannon. Shoot the cannon. Almost made it over the water there. Not quite. Looks like the waters do kill the engines though, so that's another feature I forget to check sometimes, and it's good to see that. So I think now it's time to just destroy the cars at places like the cliff, leap of death, all those good ones, and then we'll be done. So I think we're going to start off by doing the normal-ish version of the truck, like the off-road edition, and then we'll do the crawler ones as well, just to see how does the exoskeleton do on something like this. I'm thinking it'll really hold it together well on this kind of thing. And I'm going to do the exact same crash both times, so that's why I use the easy path, the one that's like straight ahead, just so I make sure I get pretty much the same path both the runs. You can see though, even with this one, the roof does a decent job at holding up. The camper shell not so much, but the roof is doing pretty good. I don't know what the suspension's done, he's just kind of giving up. Land upright. Upright, upright. No, yes, no, yeah, no, no, it's not gonna happen. Wait, no, 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 wait, no, 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 nope. Wait. Yes, upright. Obviously, it ain't gonna drive, but that roof really held up a lot. Like, it didn't cave in as much as I expected. It could have just been the way it rolled, of course, but I'm still impressed. So next up, crawler. We'll put it on flame orange. Although that looks kind of lighter than normal flame orange. I guess it ain't. Okay, so with the exoskeleton, we were driving a lot faster too, so that doesn't help much. but it really is holding up, isn't it? That exoskeleton is cool. It's taking most of the impact off of the truck itself. Because this one should be a lot more damaged from the crashes I've seen so far. And it isn't. It really just isn't. That is really cool though. I like that exoskeleton. So in this one, the roof barely caved in at all. The other one, it caved in less than I expected. This one, it's barely at all. Although it looks like the sides of the car got more damaged somehow. I wonder if it's just a coincidence. Oh well, on to the next one, which will be Leap of Death. And I think for this one, we're going to start with the crawler because I really want to see how it holds up. And we're going to once again try to just do things consistently. So I'm going to just hit this ramp at a speed I can match, which is going to be 40-ish miles per hour at the jump. And we're going to do both of these in full speed only. Well, how about we'll do them both at slow-mo only. I don't want to do 4 crashes is the thing. But I like slow-mo, so we'll do it in slow-mo. Oh no, the exoskeleton's falling off. I did not expect that. The exoskeleton is so strong, it's just gonna fall off though. Like I thought it was gonna just hold it together, but I don't know about that now. Interesting. I'm going full speed for the rest of it though. I'll try to do both. Only the first crash gets slow-mo, the rest to get is full speed all the way, so as to please both of the people who want each one, hopefully, to some extent. So it looks like even with the exoskeleton, it didn't fare too well. Too bad. I thought it would do good. It kind of just fell off center, and after that, it just squishes, just like any other vehicle. Alright, let's go and get this one going down. So it was about 45 hitting the ramp and then 40 coming off of it. So that was pretty close to being about the same. And it's coming in at a different angle though, that's for sure. It must be the difference in weight. Just a small amount of slow-mo on that first crash because it's nothing too big. And we could go ahead and just do the rest full time, real time. I'm doing real time, full time now. Wow, it helicopters. It really helicoptering. It almost looks like that one fared better the way it just crashed and stuff. I don't know. It seems like it did. And last thing to do is brutal slope. And for this one, I'm gonna do just the crawler. Because I'm pretty sure it'll destroy it anyways, and there won't be too big of a difference between just the crawler and having both of them. So I figured, you know what, just crawler's fine. Although I'm gonna hit like the top speed already. Yeah, faster, faster. I just gotta let it coast or hit the gas pedal. It doesn't do anything. Whoa, don't tip on me. This thing looks like it wants to tip. Don't tip. Stop it. Stop it. All right, come on, exoskeleton. Hold something together. No, exoskeleton, you did the best you could. Like the exoskeleton's like, I held up. The car just fell off. You did the best you could, exoskeleton. It's funny, the engine's still revved up. It has to like rev down. Anyways, that'll do it. Till next time, this has been WhyBeAre. I'll see ya. P.S. If you watch this all the way through and you're wondering about those other Toyotas, the Hilux Pre-Runner and the slammed one, those will be in a different video. They'll both get their own because they're different vehicles, so I feel like they deserve their own video. Just so you know.